We're in the Big Easy, and it was the Big Easy. Oklahoma State in the Sugar Bowl on Friday night, one-sided defeat. Mississippi dominates, gets up 41-6, wins this one 48-20. And after the first quarter, it was never a ball game.
Yeah, from the beginning, there was a spark of life. OSU goes up 3-0 thanks to an Ashton Lampkin interception. You thought, all right, here we go. We've got a good game in the making. Didn't turn out to be that way. Mason Rudolph comes out and makes the start. Everyone, I think, was impressed with his mobility, being that it was only a month ago that he underwent surgery. But no matter how well he played in this game, I don't think the Cowboys were going to win. Ole Miss scores 24 points in the second quarter. That's really when they ran away with this thing. Rudolph was effective, didn't throw any interceptions, but also didn't have any touchdowns. And the Cowboys were just really hurt once again by the run game. Mike Gundy said it all week. If they were going to win this game, they were going to have to dominate in the line of scrimmage. And that just didn't happen with, the three OSU running backs failing to even reach 20 total yards today. So just not the type of game that the Cowboys were really ever in. And it kind of shows that this team does have a long way to go if it wants to reach this stage, next year.
Ole Miss quarterback Chad Kelly dominant with 4 touchdown passes, 3 to Laquan Treadwell, who once upon a time was a very, very sought-after OSU recruit. But really, in the previous games, OSU didn't tackle very well. That when the defense collapsed, that wasn't really the case today. They really couldn't cover that Mississippi pass game.
Yeah, look, like you mentioned, Treadwell had a huge day. Kevin Peterson didn't get a whole lot of help. They left him out on an island at times. And Peterson, being an all-Big 12 guy, they had a lot of confidence in him, I think, in that area. But this just was an offense that I think, even to a point, out-tempoed this OSU defense. Emmanuel Ogba saying afterwards he didn't expect them to go that fast. And when they got caught behind, a lot of penalties kind of snowballed on this team in some situations where the Cowboys really struggled. And this was also a game that in a lot of ways was a bit of a home game for Ole Miss. The crowd split seemed to be maybe 70-30 in favor of the Rebels. The fans were really in it all night long. And it's just interesting with this team. 3 losses in a row, Barry, but this was a 10-win season. When we look back at this year, I think that a lot of OSU fans are going to remember these games, but certainly quite a year for the Cowboys, especially without a run game all year long.
Yeah, and, it's when they're 10-3 and have suffered the defeats they have, it's a little bit hard to remember that they were ranked 6th in the country in late November. And this was the Sugar Bowl. If you're going to get blown out in a bowl, get blown out in the Sugar Bowl. I mean, it's, as big a stage as OSU's been on in 70 years. But still, after the 10-0 start, Oklahoma State gives up 151 points in 3 games. The defense has got to buckle down more than that. Got to get that run game going. There are some pieces. Mason Rudolph is a big-time quarterback. I think we can all agree. But the Cowboys are going to miss J.W. Walsh. I mean, J.W. didn't play much tonight early. 2 snaps in the first 2.5 quarters. He comes in basically in mop-up duty and is spectacular. Moves up and down the field. I don't think he should have played more necessarily. I don't think that would have affected the game. But you got to tip your cap to J.W. Even in his farewell song, he plays great.
Talking with Emmanuel Ogba after the game, he wouldn't tip his hand at an NFL decision, kind of how he's been these past few weeks. Said he'll go home and talk with family about it. But this just seems like a guy who's destined for the next level at this point. I'm not sure he could have a season like he had this year again. It just would seem kind of improbable for him to have that type of production. So he's going to be gone. But, on the defensive side, the Cowboys got to like what they have coming back. That entire linebacking core, Jordan Burton, in his first year as a junior college transfer, played very well this year. Chad Whitener got some experience at middle linebacker. Seth Jacobs is back. They'll have to figure out how to replace Kevin Peterson. They've got some young defensive ends that they like. But on that side of the ball, I think the Cowboys are pretty happy. And as they move in, into the spring ball here and into summer workouts, there's a lot of pieces to like.
So that's it for OSU football 2015. A great year to start with, sort of tailored off down the stretch, resulting here in the Sugar Bowl. 48-20, Mississippi beats the Cowboys. Stay tuned for further OSU football coverage here on News OK and every day in the Oklahoman.